So comrades, two things happen. This class reacts in two ways. It gives concessions, actually three ways. It gives some concessions. It says, fine, okay, let's see, you can have marginally better education, marginally better housing. But now, what we're going to do alongside that, we need to protect ourselves. So they unleash the military into the townships and the police. So on the East Rand, the military occupies many townships. I don't know what it was like in Cape Town. I don't know if they did or...
Yeah, ask Comrade Maweta was not.
Problem, they occupy. So they go in with full repression. They occupy the townships and try to occupy them. And they try and blunt this. They try and break the organizations of the working class, or black working class in particular. They try and smash it violently. So the arrests go up throughout the late 1980s. Lots of comrades are getting arrested. Because the state is trying to blunt the challenge that the working class is posing. But what they also do is they think, well, okay, we're in deep trouble now because, one, our profits are being undermined because people are struggling. They say we're not going to accept these poor wages. And if wages go up, these people don't like it because their profits go down. It's the same fight that's happening at Marikana now. Mm-hmm. But what they're also doing is they say, okay, we need to try and restore profits, but we need to stop the prospect of revolution. They don't want to lose the means of production. They don't want to lose the power they have to this class. They don't want this class setting up its own structures and breaking up their state and taking their mines and setting up a better society. They don't want that. So what they do is they think, okay, who can we look around? Like Mangorpe and them, they took them in there because they thought, these are guys from Blanchard Real.
Now I have a question.
Okay,
where does this concept of Bekalis come from? If they are all the people who are working for the people who are the upper class,
The black elite.
to get all these means of wealth.
Okay, some, even in apartheid, it was a tiny minority. So you had Lucas Mangorpe that owned stuff. Do you know who Mangorpe was?
No, maybe you didn't hear my question. The question is that is this in schools currently?
Yeah.
We have been taught that the blacks are lazy. They are lazy to work.
Yeah.
So where does that concept come from? Because as far as you explained, it's clear that the people who are working are really the black working class.
Remember, comrades, I said these people like to use propaganda. So they say the black working class is lazy because they don't want to pay wages. So there is like, if you actually look, South Africa is one of the most productive, in certain areas, productive labor forces in the world. But they will say, no, lazy, then if you're lazy, now we can't pay you as much as you want, because you're just lazy. It's an ideological warfare. It's played out here. They ideologically it's warfare. If you listen to the newspapers, they don't say, the comrades in Marikana are risking their lives. They don't say that. They don't say they're going a kilometer under down and they must work like this the whole day. They don't say that. They say, no, these people are outrageous, they're lazy. They don't want to work. They're on strike for 4 months. So it's an ideological warfare as well.
They are criminals.
So comrades, as I was saying, in this they backlash. So they first use violence. They do give concessions. But then they say, no, well, actually, this can't work. Like Mangorpe, he used to head up a homeland called Babutitswana. And he was friends of Saul Kersner who owns Sun City. But they say, no, man, these guys can't keep this stable. This isn't stable. We're going to lose our power if this carries on. Society is going to be changed completely. And we'll lose the mines. I don't know what we have to do. But that's what they're thinking. And they say, like, sort of people like Buthelezi, who was part of the Bantustan elite, they say, this dude, he can't do it either. So comrades, it doesn't work. The homeland elite can't keep this in place, and neither can they on their own. The white ruling class and the capitalists Afrikaners like de Klerk can't keep this thing going. So they say, fine, we have to look for other people to try and bring this in. Now, lots of these comrades and us, whatever, we had faith in the ANC, many. And the ANC leadership says, fine, things are falling apart. These people, some of them go visit Oliver Tambo in 1987 in Lusaka and Thabo Mbeki, and they start having discussions. And they say, look, this thing's not working, what are we going to do? But they were actually worried about socialism. They thought the whole society was going to be turned over. So they start speaking to the leadership of the ANC. And the leadership of the ANC, and comrades can go back in history and look, they say, fine, we want a non-racial capitalism. We don't want an end to capitalism, but a non-racial one. and they make a deal. And the deal plays itself out. Do comrades remember Codesa? So a deal plays itself out, and there's power broking. They don't like one another, like Thabo Mbeki, and they don't like these guys. They don't like Thabo Mbeki. But they want to work together. So there's power broking. There's all sorts of maneuvers. One thing the ANC actually does is they say, remember comrades, the UDF. They say, no, the UDF must disband. Give us a chance to negotiate. The leadership, I'm not talking about the members. They say, give it a chance to negotiate. And deals are struck, and it depends, like they say they still have military power. They say, well, the leadership that's negotiating say, well, we got people's power still there. Some of the organizations are broken in the 90s. The military does break some of them. What they also do in the 90s, and I forgot to say this, is they play sections of this class to fight against this class. So, comrades may know, in Crossroads you have the Wittuka. The state pays it's a minority of people here, to attack people in this class.
Yeah.
So the Wittuka were paid by the apartheid state. Maybe Mtesh, you know more than me. If you just briefly want to say.
They also know.
Alright, so the Wittuka, the IFP, the foot soldiers were from here. So they attack people that wanting to change the system. They pay them in there. It's like a minority of this class. But in this context, deals are struck. So one deal is, in about the early 90s, that this class, the white capitalists, can keep the mines, can keep the banks, can keep their farms. They say, fine. ANC, they realize the ANC is going to win the elections. So they say, fine, the ANC can win the elections. So some people can go into the state, that's fine. What they're doing is they know when you go into the state, you're not going to maybe have the same outlook of where you came from. They're well aware of that. So they say some of the state, a lot of the state's features actually remain similar to apartheid. It doesn't change that much. You get a vote, but the state actually remains quite similar to what you had under apartheid. Some of the stuff conflates. You don't have like funny tricameral things. I don't know, I won't go into that. But you have one unitary parliament, you get a vote. What they also say is, fine, we can start trying to deracialize capitalism. So we will do BEE. We will give shares to Patrice Motsepe. We'll give shares to Ramaphosa. And what they're doing is they're drawing the comrades into this, well, not comrades anymore, but they're drawing them into this class. So what you start seeing is people at the top of the ANC leadership and other parties even start moving into this class. And their wealth and their power is also based on keeping this class out of power. They're not interested in that class having power. That was the deal that was struck. So this class gets a vote, but they vote for 400 people who then make decisions. Because this class doesn't get to decide under this system. We just vote and then they go for 4 years, 5 years, do what they like. We can try to hold them accountable, but it's not being done. So, and also I said, like there's a state before, there's lots of people who never elected. So comrades, this class now, they get new allies who join them. And the new allies realize, well look, Ramaphosa knows that he needs cheap labor in London. That's why he called the police. They know that. His wealth is based on exploiting those people. He can't do it any other way. The state officials are paid by tax. Comrades know who pays the most tax? Which class pays the most tax?
The ruling class.
Nope. The working class and unemployed through VAT.
Yeah.
It contributes like the vast majority. Ironically, this who pays the class. They survive off the taxes of this class. This class has to work in order to pay taxes. So they have an interest now in the system. So if you think the comrade, I don't know, maybe you like Zuma, that's fine. Maybe he's a nice man. He can even be a nice man. But his class interests aren't your class interests. And he wants cheap black labor. That's why Mara can't happen.